Saquon Barkley and the fact that Daniel Jones does his deal, Saquon Barkley gets tagged. Here is Joe Shane from yesterday on where things stand between the Giants and Barkley now that Barkley has the franchise tag and will be on the team for one more year.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Saquon today. I talked to him yesterday before, we put the franchise tag on him. So again, we've had deals out, whether it's the bye week or recently, and we're going to continue to negotiate. We love Saquon. He's a good teammate. He's a captain. He's a hell of a player. So, right now he's under the franchise tag. And, as we build the team and, continue with our offseason plan, we'll do what's best for the team. And, we're still mapping that out.
Well, and what's best for any team with a running back is to take it 1 year at a time if you can. And
yes.
I said this earlier in the week, running backs already get screwed by the current rookie wage scale because their best years typically are the years that are spent under the slotted system based on where they're drafted. And the best thing that happened to Saquon Barkley was being picked second overall and making $34.1 million or 34.1. I think it was 30, something like that. Somewhere in the low 30 million on a 4-year deal. At the running back position, that was damn good money on his way in. Usually what we see is a guy taken far lower, making much less, takes 3 years before you're even eligible for a new contract, and then they'll go franchise tag, see you later. They got 5 years out of Barkley, $7.2 million last year, and now they can do 1 year, 2 years, see you later if they choose to do it. And that's kind of how it goes for running backs in the NFL. And Sims and I were talking about that as well. More and more of the younger football players who are clearly the best athletes on the field need to, and as Chris said, are beginning to gravitate toward other positions, not just give the best athlete the ball and let him run circles around everyone. Let's develop as a receiver. Let's develop as a quarterback. Let's develop as a defensive back. Let's use that athleticism for something that pays better and gives you a career that lasts longer in the NFL.
Yeah, and they've got to do it, Mike, because it's so unfortunate, but it's a roster construction question, right? Are you going to pay that much money for a premium running back where you could spread that money around and then, use your late round draft picks, use an undrafted pick, undrafted free agent, I should say, to then bring in a running back and do what the Chiefs did, right? Use Isaiah Pacheco as your lead back who was drafted in the 7th round, and then you win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's hard to say that running backs should get 10 million plus when you're talking about roster construction, unless it is the most special of special dudes. And it's really unfortunate. And I always feel bad saying it because I want players to be able to make as much money as possible. But if I'm a GM, my thought process is totally different. Right. So if it's Saquon Barkley for this year and 10 million, and we'll see, that would make the most sense to the New York Giants. But if you're Saquon Barkley, I mean, you need a little bit more security, right? You want a little bit more security than just that. Even if you have made as much money as you've made from being a top 5 pick in the NFL, it's tough. So Saquon Barkley is a premium back. That's for sure. I mean, we've seen him excel. And because of that, because of all that he's gone through with the injuries and all that, of course, I want him to have more security than just 1 year at 10.1 million. But if you're the Giants, it's like, man, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to commit myself to more than that for a running back who's getting along there in years and has been beat up? I don't know.
One of my friends who was here last night remained my friend, even though I influenced him at a very young age to be a fan of the Vikings. He's still my friend now, despite going through the same trauma that I've gone through the last 50 years. But Dalvin Cook's name came up in the barn last night, and what happens with Dalvin Cook? And look, he's entering year 7. He's due to make $10.4 million this year. As you said, when you're looking at roster construction, that's a lot for a guy when you know there are plenty of others out there coming in every year. The colleges churn them out every year. Every major college has a guy that can play running back in the NFL if you can trust him to hold on to the ball and pick up blitzers. You block for him, that's how he gets his yards. Other than Barry Sanders, there aren't many running backs out there that if you don't block for them, they're going to get yards. He was one of the few. You got to block for him, and they hit the hole, and off they go. And there are many guys who can do it. And when you get north of $10 million a year, and you've been around 5, 6, 7 years, that's where it's dicey. That's why Derrick Henry at $10.5 million for this year after 7 years in the NFL is on the trade market. It's a lot to justify when you're talking about the running back position when you have so many cheaper options, and we know that's just how it is. Interchangeable parts in the football machine. And yes, recognizable name, star player, fans love him, bought his jersey. Hell, they just bought Dalvin Cook's 4 after all those years of buying 33. They got to keep him in Minnesota. They love him in Minnesota, and I won't be surprised if they work out something that brings down his cap number. Maybe it saves his cash for this year. He still gets his 10.4, but they got to come up with something to reduce the cap charge in order to justify the roster spot. It's that simple, and teams go through that. It's the bill that you have to pay on the back end of a great running back's career, and 6, 7, 8 years is far closer to the end than the beginning. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.